So we're coming in 1 minute into the first here, and the game is 5-2 for our team right now. I'm on the gold team, and in this game I'm using my rebounding shot creator 610, and my matchup is a slashing sharpshooter. So that's him right there. He gets a bucket on the layup. And yeah, this is at this point the game's still pretty tight. It really is anybody's game at this point, and they get another bucket there. So this is our shooting guard here, number 5, and yeah, he passes it down low there. The big man doesn't get the layup. I think that was a little bit too aggressive of a move for that situation. Good aggressive move the other way. He gets fouled. So on these two shots, yeah, he puts them up by 3. We get the play, and yeah, I have a lot of these videos, like these pro-am, like full game videos. This one started about a minute into the game. I didn't catch the first minute on my PlayStation capture, so that's why the first minute of this game is missing. But I have a bunch of these, so if you guys want to see more videos like this, let me know, or like and subscribe, and just continue to support the channel, and I'll bring out more of these videos for you guys. You can basically see some of my games that I've been involved in. My record's really good right now. It's something like 85 and 58 or something like that for Pro-Am Walk-On. So if you guys want to see more stuff like this and like more videos of me playing Pro-Am, then let me know, and or just support the channel, like, because if you support the channel and I see growth, then I will continue to add content like this. So you can see that I get a rebound there, and the shooting guard misses that shot. That was a wide open 3, so I'm not sure if he is a sharpshooter or if he has sharpshooting in his archetype, but he does try quite a few threes in this game, and he misses a few of them. I think he makes a couple as well, so I get beat pretty badly there on the baseline right at the end of the clock too, so that was unfortunate. And somehow the AI makes this shot here. So for those of you who don't know what Pro-Am is, this is basically Pro-Am. This is NBA2K18, and it's their closest to full sim online multiplayer basketball game mode. It is a competitive game mode, so it's considered an esport. It's each game's 20 minutes long, so each quarter is 5 minutes long, whereas compared to like real life basketball and the NBA rules, which has quarters at 12 minutes long, so the game would be 48 minutes. So this is a much shorter basketball, like it's a somewhat condensed basketball game, like video game basketball simulation. And this is my favorite game mode in NBA 2K18. Pretty much in all 2K games, I pretty much only play Pro-Am, and you only control one player in Pro-Am, so you're not controlling the whole team like in my team, or my league, or my GM, or whatever. You only control your player, and you do what your player does. So it's kind of more along the lines of like Dota, or the NHL version is eShul. And yeah, it's basically the same idea. It's an esport, 5-on-5, and all the same rules of and like in an NBA game. So basically, um, like if you go back court, you're gonna turn it over. If you stay too long in the paint, you're gonna turn it over, or you get defensive 3-second violations. You can only stand in the backcourt for 8 seconds with the ball before it's turned over. Um, all the foul rules are pretty much the same as the NBA. So hard hits and things like that are fouls. Bad screens are fouls. Things like that. It's not like there's another mode in NBA 2K18, which is the playground, and it's mostly like 3-on-3 pickup games, and there's a lot of rules that are like relaxed in that game mode, so you don't have to worry about backcourt violations. You can go backcourt anytime you want with the ball, and you're not going to turn it over. There's not like as many like 3-second violation things like that in Park as well. Also, Park, you can play a lot more physically and not get called for what you would get called for fouls on in Pro-Am, just to make things clear. So like Pro-Am is like a lot more like serious of a game mode. Ooh, and look at that, a green light there. Yeah, and so I play like quite a lot of Pro-Am. I really like the full sim mode. Oh, I got a steal there. I think he turns it over because he calls for the ball. But yeah, I have like a lot of these videos of basically me playing Pro-Am. My dude is a 90 overall, my character, and he's a rebounding shot creator. So that's shot creator primary archetype, and then rebounding as a secondary archetype. It's a really, really versatile build. You get quite a lot from the rebounding, because you get the bruiser and you get brick wall. You also get like some bronze defensive badges, like you get like chase down artist, and I can't remember all of them, but this build's really good for Pro-Am. Like I said, my record is 85 and 58, so that's pretty damn good for like Pro-Am walk on. And I'm just like walking on with randoms. Like none of these guys in this game here I know, and I rarely ever play with like people that I know. I play with my brother sometimes, but most games I'm just walking in with randoms. And to have an 85 and 58 record, like win-loss record, just doing that is not bad at all. But yeah, so like because I play a lot of Pro-Am, just like random Pro-Am walk-ons, I have some of these videos that I can upload to YouTube, and you guys can see some of the Pro-Am antics that go on in 2K18, and just some of the things that like maybe some people are just a little bit intimidated by Pro-Am, or they don't know like what it looks like, or like what people play like, what to expect kind of. So I can upload these videos and you guys can basically see what Pro-Am's all about. There I got a nice crossover, and guy gets a wide open 3-point shot, doesn't get to go. But yeah, and you'll see like a lot of stuff in Pro-Am sometimes. Like if you play, you'll see things that are both good and bad, and some things are really funny, some things are just really annoying. You will have like occasionally like the one player who just doesn't want to pass the ball, he just wants to dribble, or the one player who just wants to take every shot, even if it's like a really bad shot. And that wasn't a bad shot that guy took right there. That was actually like, that's an acceptable shot. He was open. But there are some guys who just take like right through shot contests. They'll take anything, like really, really deep. Like we're talking like almost half court line, and like it's farther up to the half court line in Pro Am than it is in Park. So if you're taking shots at the half court line, like that's just ridiculous. Even pure sharpshooters won't hit that shot. But yeah, you'll see some just players who maybe don't have very good fundamentals, or uh, like you'll see like some weird stuff. But like for the most part, I think like people are pretty competitive when they're playing Pro Am, and um, like you don't really have to worry about who's going to be on your team so much, because um, if a player plays bad enough, they're going to get kicked out around like the halfway mark anyways, and it'll give you enough time to come back if you're good enough. Like, and I've come back from some pretty crazy situations where I've been like down like 15 points, 20 points, or 30 points sometimes, and win the game. Sometimes just by myself with like 4 AIs, because like all my teammates play so badly that they leave or they get dropped, and I have to do it myself sometimes. But yeah, it is possible, and the game engine, they make it work. Like obviously, like um, the game takes into account like uh, how fair things like the situation is for you. So like uh, if it's 1-on-4, obviously that's not a fair matchup. So what they do is they like up the AI intelligence um, and decision making, uh, and they also makes more of the bounces, like so like more the 50-50 balls go your team's way in those situations. So you got to like learn to basically in Pro Am, it's all about just continuing to play good basketball, and that's what I feel. If you do that, you can pretty much win like a lot more than you're gonna lose. And I know this for a fact. There are some times where guys are like they're really bad players, but they're not bad enough to get kicked in the first half. So if that's the situation, like if they're staying to like the third or the fourth, they could actually sink your ship because they're staying around long enough to make more bad decisions in the future of the game, and that could end up sinking your ship. So, um, you know, it's not a perfect system, but like they've done a pretty good job with the anti-griefing this year, as far as like the social aspect of the game. I'm definitely finding that it's a lot less frustrating than in last year's game was. And as you see, I got player of the half there for a good performance. 17 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. This is my rebounding shot creator. This is how good he is, guys. 88% field goal percentage. Like, he's super versatile. He can just fit in anywhere. And he really is a really good build, guys. Like, you gotta build one of these if you got some extra VC hanging around and some time to grind it, because but actually his badge grind is really quick, so you don't the badge grind isn't as much of a concern as the actual overall grind, but like I'm only at 90 overall, and this guy, like, he kicks ass in Pro Am. Like this is a build that I think if you had like 3 of these and then a point guard, like a proper point guard and a proper big, you could win like almost every game that you go into, because these guys can do everything. They'll play defense, they'll grab rebounds, they'll steal the ball, they'll score, they can pass, like they just do everything. They can score inside, they can score in the mid range, and they can stretch the floor. So this is the kind of build that I think like would be really successful. I think like in almost anybody's hands. I'm not gonna say like anybody's hands, because obviously some players maybe they just don't have like the skills or the capabilities to play really well. But yeah, this is where I think the team starts to really take over. We're starting to pull ahead here. We're up by 6, and this is where I believe, um, yeah, it just begins to get like too difficult to stop us. Um, but yeah, like if you want, if you want to make a rebounding shot creator, I suggest making him taller. So I made mine a small forward 6'10", which is the maximum you can make a small forward. And then also, like, I suggest if you are gonna make one, also max out his wingspan and his shoulder width. Well, his shoulder width is not necessary, I guess. It depends on how, if you want him to be more offensive or more defensive. The shoulder width is good for like boxing out because you can like. It's also good for like having like a wider body on a uh, on your guy when he's like moving laterally. So like when you're defending guys, having wider shoulders makes it so you don't have to move quite as far to cover the same spread of area. If you kind of get what you mean, get what I mean. So like you don't need to have the same kind of lateral quickness to be as effective on defense against like smaller dudes. So guys won't be able to run around you as much, basically. So yeah, I made my guy with like max shoulder width, max arm length, and 6'10", 220 pounds. The 220 pounds was mainly because I wanted this guy to have good vertical. So if I wanted him to be like, he's not built as a slasher. He can slash to the rim, but that's not like what his game is. His game is like versatility, and really the vertical is going to make you more versatile than the ability to finish inside. So that's why around 220 is a good weight for him, because you still get enough strength that you can fight with the big dudes and you can like put up a good battle, but you're also going to be quick enough and light enough that and your vertical is going to be good enough that you're going to be able to defend smaller guys and pull down like quite a lot of rebounds just simply from the fact that you can jump really high, as well as just get more blocks in general as well, because your vertical affects how well you can block. So this guy, like at 220 pounds and at 6'10", he literally can do everything, and he's one of the better small forward builds in this game, in my opinion. If you want to build a really dominant small forward, and this guy isn't like he's supposed to have weak defense, as you can see there. Like his shot contest didn't quite contest the shot, but don't let that fool you, because he actually is a really good defender simply from the fact that he is long and he's quick, right? So those two things make him a really good defender. And then not only that, but his ability to get up there and get blocks and get rebounds just makes him a good player. Just makes him a good basketball player. So yeah, so we're getting to the end of the third here, and we're up by 15. So you can, as I said, we managed to pull away a little bit, and there I put us up by 17. So this game was over basically by this point here. You can see that we're like coming back from this deficit. So this is yeah. So that's a 19-point lead there, and you only have 1 quarter now to come back from that deficit, and then yeah, and he gets the last second shot. So it's a 21-point deficit, and yeah, they're not gonna get that comeback in this game just simply because they're not good enough. and because I'm good enough to stop any kind of comeback that they could possibly try to attempt. So I'm not trying to like toot my horn, but this is just, you know, when you play this game enough, you know what I mean when I say like, you know what's about to happen when you've seen the trends before, kind of. Um, but yeah, you'll see like uh, this video is a good illustration of, uh, you know, when you have good players on your team, or like just like solid players on your team, like one man does make a really big difference. Like one player can make a huge difference to like the outcome of a team's game. In this game, I think we had like a couple guys who were quite good. That guy with the green hair, number 28, the big dude. Yeah, like he was pretty good in this game, I think. And then obviously I'm in this game as well. So that big man, number 8, it was also like he wasn't bad. Like none of these guys were stellar per se, but they weren't bad. Let's just say like they they were manageable basically. And like really, the only time you have problems with pro-am teams is, like I said, if you run into guys who just like don't want to pass the ball and they just like want to dribble, or they just want to take every shot and they shoot like a really really low percentage. Like those are the only guys that like cause problems for teams. But as you can see, like the team was passing the ball pretty good, um, getting good rebounds, like getting, like just playing good team basketball, and that's what wins this game. Really, is being unselfish and just having an unselfish approach. Um, the more you pass the ball, the more you like help your team in ways other than like ball handling and shooting and like offense only kind of thing. Like you got to do everything to help your team win, because basketball is a two-way game. But yeah, you can see like we're still up by 22. There's only 2 minutes or 3 minutes left in the quarter here, in the game actually, and we're still beating them up down low. This is what happened. Like you need big men in this game. This is they said this is the year of the bigs again, like the year the bigs is back in this game. So like if you haven't made yourself a big man yet, if you're like on a point guard or like a shooting guard and that's your only guy, make a big man, because you're gonna do better if you make a big man. Um, and not only that, like you can like salvage some of your pro-am record stats and things like that, by having a big man, because big men are really good in this. Like I said, uh, almost everyone I know has a big, and you don't need like a big man. Like you don't need to make him like a center. Just make a guy who is like a bigger guy who's kind of not like a ball handler. You know what I mean? Like so like I mean you could do like a point forward, or I don't know, like a shot maker, like a really big shot maker. Like, and I think that would be legit. But it's the big man classes in this game that are really good. Like the rebounder is a really good class in this game, in this year's game. Post scoring also pretty decent. And then you also have like athletic finishers. I'm not too big on, to be honest with you. Like athletic finishers and slashers, I'm not too big on. I much prefer the shot creator, because the mid-range shot and the three-point shot that you get, plus the ability to finish inside. The shot creator is he's more of like a finesse guy anyways. He's like a skill dude. Um, if you want to go like a big, I mean, let's just put it this way, okay? Like a two-way slasher is not a bad build, right? Like, or like a slashing defender is not a bad build. So if the idea of your guy is to make like a really big physical dude who has like a really good athleticism, then yeah, I can see going a slasher could be legit because you get like a lot of vertical. You get um, really good dunks and layups. So like finishing inside, really good strength. Um, yeah, that could work, right? But I, to be honest with you, like as far as big man archetypes go, I like the rebounder. The defender I think is also legit in this game. So like lockdowns and two-way players, or uh, like lockdowns with like a secondary archetype. I think those are legit builds in this game. And yeah, like like I said, I'm not a big fan of slashers, uh, but yeah, I do think that they do have like you can use them, I guess. Like I said, like if you're gonna do like a two-way archetype kind of, or uh, like a defensive archetype, and you wanted like something to sort of complement that offensively, then you can do like a two-way slasher, or you could do like a slashing defender, and that's fine. But other than that, I'm not a big fan of slashers. Like slashing playmaker, I kind of see as pointless. It's like playmaking, the ball handling really only benefits you because it allows you to get inside quickly. So like a slashing ball handler is like redundancy. So you're trying to get inside so that you can score very well inside. That's kind of like the gist of it. It's like a max min build, right? And I'm not too keen on like a lot of max min builds in this game. I don't. I mean, like a legit like small playmaker. Okay, fine. A legit like big glass cleaner. Okay, fine. But like yeah, like playmaking slasher, it's just like I said, it's too much redundancy. If you're gonna cross class things, um, what I think is better is make your guy like more versatile, like I did. So like take like a shot creator, right, who is a versatile scorer, and then take his weakness and add that in as your second archetype. So rebounding is the shot creator's weakness, and so I took that and made it my secondary archetype, and that's how I came up with this guy. And he's super versatile because now he is a shot creator with no weakness. Basically, he's just not as strong in like say like the mid range, or maybe not as strong from deep, from on the three ball or whatever. But he's just as good, like in my opinion, as like a pure shot creator, uh, simply because of the fact that he can do more things, or he can like consistently do more things. So he can like consistently be a good rim protector. He can consistently be a decent like rebounder. So yeah, so that's the game. You can see we pretty much blew them out of that at that point, and yeah, I hope you guys like this. And if you want to see more content like this, just like and subscribe to the video, and I'll be able to I'll bring out more videos for you guys to watch. So until next time, I'll see you again.